clutches of Kolkata's red light district. Good morning. Hello. Namaste. How long have you been coming to school here now?
तुम कितने दिन से हो स्कूल में? 5 months. They don't have much confidence at this stage.
Yes.
Because they're kept in such horrible circumstances. They are kept in small 4x4 rooms which they have to share with their mothers, with the brothel managers and the buyers of prostituted sex who come there and they actually use the beds while the children are playing on the floor.
Oh, right. This centre prides itself on providing opportunities for kids who would otherwise fall through the system.
See some of our students here. Good morning.
Hi, hello.
ये Paul uncle हैं.
They look like they could be school kids from anywhere in the world. But beyond the safety of these walls, their lives are very different.
ये सामने जो रेल नहीं चलता, उसी का नीचे ब्रिज का नीचे.
They live in a little under a plastic sheet under the bridge near the railway line that you saw when driving here.
Yes. And have you always lived there?
तुम कहीं और भी रहती थी कि हर समय वहीं रहती थी? Always there.
And these children have no illusions as to the lives their mothers are forced to lead.
और हम लोग चाहते हैं कि वो एरिया से निकले.
She says she's very scared for her mother. Her mother lives in such a bad place. You know what the area is like, and she wants her mother to leave that area.
Without this lifeline, these girls would already have been pushed into prostitution, just like their mothers before them.
This is to give the children and the women self-confidence. Most of them are so traumatized that they begin to hate their bodies. And if we do dance and theatre, then it gives them a sense of their body's worth and they begin to like themselves again.
But it seems to me that most important of all, they're being allowed simply to be children.
Thank you. बहुत अच्छा था.
Excellent. What is it you enjoy about dancing?
जो मन में दुख नहीं रहता है, डांस करने से खुशी रहता है, अच्छा लगता है.
We don't feel any unhappiness when we are dancing. We feel happy, good.
खुश रहते हैं, मजा भी मिलता है.
She says we forget our sorrows when we are dancing and we feel happy.
You see the children here and they seem very sweet, sort of innocent kids, but they've lived a lot already, they've seen a lot, and it is shocking to think of the environments and the circumstances in which they live. And this is a small beacon of hope, this place, I think. But as night falls, the real challenge for Ruchira and her team begins. Whereas most children go home to their mums after school, these children's mothers are working, and deep in the heart of Kolkata's red light district. So every evening they must run the gauntlet of organised gangs and pimps.
We can't put it past any of them to try to snatch away a child. They've threatened our social workers, they heckle them, yell at them, scream at them. So we face dangers, but there's a resolve that we have to overcome the dangers because life is going to be the way it is.
Amazingly, Ruchira has created a small refuge here amongst the brothels and gambling dens. She's had to do it so that the working mothers can at least be close to their children.
So this is where we have the night creche up here, Paul.
So in one small room, just a stone's throw from the street, the children will spend the night. Here they do their homework, eat their dinner, and if they're lucky, see their mothers. So once the children in here, they're safe, but you've got a big locked gate downstairs.
There's ever-present danger because there are predators all the time waiting to pounce on the kids.
It's a frightening situation, and I'm determined to show these kids that not all men are bad. Some are just plain daft. Well, they may not be ready for bed yet, but I certainly am.
Bye. Goodbye. Good night.
It strikes me that this refuge walks a frighteningly fine line between the safety of the children and the needs of their mothers. But it's a line Ruchira feels has to be walked.
Sometimes a child is the only source of affection that a prostituted mother has in her life. They want to be able to know that they can come anytime and meet their daughter, and so we have to have it here.
I see, I understand. I know these scenes are by no means unique to India, but I'm finding it hard to reconcile the gentle spiritualism and easygoing tolerance I've so far encountered with the world in which these children live. Once again, India has caught me by surprise. I've decided to take things a little easier for a few days, so I have travelled about the furthest from Kolkata you can go. I'd heard Kerala was a paradise, and so it is, seemingly unchanged by India's commercial revolution. There are 44 different rivers here, and together they make up Kerala's 500 miles of famous backwaters. At the entrance to the Indian Ocean lies Fort Cochin, an atmospheric trading post with a long and colourful history.
Hi, Paul. Hi.
Are you George?
I'm George, yeah.
Hello, George. Pleased to meet you. And this is my trusty local guide,
Welcome to God's Own Country.
to make sure I don't get lost. God's Own Country?
Yeah, it's called God's Own Country.
Why is it called God's Own Country?
Well, because, it's a very laid-back place, and people don't like to work really hard. And as the fruits ripen on the trees, they just fall down. They don't even climb up to pluck it, And so only God works here, It's very interesting. That's why it's called God's Own Country.
These curious Dali-esque structures are all along the waterfront.
So these are the famous Chinese fishing nets. It was an old trading route. It was the Silk Route. And so the Chinese trading ships used to come to Cochin. So that's where this influence comes from.
So what we're seeing here is a real piece of history, living history.
Yes.
Living history or not, this seems a very complicated way to catch fish. So what do these guys do? They lower the net into the water and they just sit around for 45 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah, just relax.
In God's own country.
God's own country, yes.
Waiting for God to put the fish into the net.
Exactly.
Well, it's a lot less arduous than being a North Sea trawlerman, but we do seem to be entirely dependent on the fish coming to us. Time to see what the Lord hath provided. Is that it?
Yeah.
Are they disappointed with this catch, or is this something? is this the best they've had for months? I think it may be time to give these nets back to the Chinese. We're now heading to the old trading quarter, and these motorised rickshaws might look picturesque from where you're sitting, but at 6'2", the only view I get is the roof lining. Heaven forbid I should